Oh, didn't realize it was live. I'm having an adventure. I order my groceries from Peapod. I haven't been shopping in months. And so the Peapod guy came in and drove right past me, drove to the other end of where the campground, and then was up there for a long time. Then he came back down and he almost left, and I had to run out and stop the truck. So, hence, I am a little late. And now he's delivering, and all should be fine. So, it's an interesting time we're in. As we know, things are not a lot different than yesterday or the day before. The numbers aren't going down as we wish they would. But how are you doing? Are you staying strong? Are you doing all the good tips I gave you for how to be grounded and get things done? Well, as you know, I've been extra busy because I have been working on my Unity interviews for licensing and ordination. So it's been really kind of crazy. And you know, honestly, I can't believe how some people just say that they're bored because there's so much to do. So, what is today? Today is National Black Cow Day. No, I'm not talking about the ones that moo. I'm talking about root beer and ice cream. Well, out in that Peapod order is some root beer. And down in the office is some ice cream. So I may just have me a little black cow by the end of this day. So I could stay with it. Now you remember yesterday was rhubarb pie day. Strawberry rhubarb pie. So I ordered half. I didn't get it. When I saw the number of things that were out of stock that I can't get, I was just like, no. But it is what it is. So today I want to talk about who's the boss of you. Do you think you're your own boss? Or do you find sometimes you say, what was I thinking after you've made a decision, done something, spent some money, gotten a bad haircut, things like that. We go, what was I thinking? Who was the boss of you when you made that decision? Boy, it's a good time now. Got the time to reflect on who is the boss of you? Who determines the choices you make, what you do, where you go, how you do it? We've taught before that life is consciousness. That means that we have an awareness. Sometimes our awareness goes on autopilot. It kind of like does its own thing. Did you ever go driving down the street and all of a sudden realize that you're not really sure how you got there? You were on autopilot. Doesn't mean you were driving bad, thank God, but we do tend sometimes to just kind of, rotely move on and, but I'm sure you've probably had those clothes that you bought and wondered what you were thinking when you bought them. Who made that decision? Could it really have been you? Why? Every action we take has a thought behind it, whether that is a conscious thought or an unconscious thought. Those are the ones we have to look for. A lot of the ones they're from lower consciousness, they're from the world. And so we want to make sure that when we make a decision, we know that we are the boss of us. There's a lot of times other people are the boss of us. If you're really worried about what other people think, if you dress a certain way so people will think a certain thing about you, if you have to have a certain standard of living based on what other people think about you, there is a difference between having a way of dressing or a standard of living because you enjoy it, and another one because of what someone may think about you, for better or worse. And that's where the problem is. That makes that other person the boss of you. Even if you have a job that you don't really like, but you do it for the money, is money then the boss of you? Could be. If you have family members that kind of guilt you into doing stuff, does that mean those family members are the boss of you? Could be. I invite you to be the boss of you. You know, usually a baby, as they start to grow and be aware of the world they're in, oh, I know they say their words, mama, dada, and stuff like that. But once they start to have their mind generating these thoughts, they have two questions. And the first question is, or what's that? What's that? What's that? Boy, do you remember those days? You'd have to say, tell them what this or that was. And then comes the biggie. The biggie is, why? Why? Why do you do that? Why do I have to go to bed? Why do I have to eat that? Why? I think it would be good for ourselves to ask ourselves why more often. Why did you buy that? And not just to say, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did I buy that? Why did I do that? Well, don't just leave it there and feel stuck with it. Really look at the question, because whatever the answer is tells who is the boss of you. Who made that choice? And then ask yourself why. Because you gotta get to the why. If you want to change the effect, you gotta change the cause. I think it would be good. Sometimes we make decisions, we let our habits be the boss of us. It's always been done that way. We keep doing it that way because it's a habit. And there's a funny thing about habits. They're easy to make and they're hard to break. And that's the truth. It's like me and going to bed on time. I've got these habits where, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. And I really don't have to. I work on self-discipline. And when we have self-discipline, we listen to our higher self to make good decisions. We've been talking for the past, it's day 86. I think it's 86, yeah. We've been talking for 86 days now about the 4 quadrants of consciousness. The upper ones, which are intuitive sensing, in touch with the highest good, and the lower, which are human thoughts and human emotions. If we buy something because we just love it, just have to have it because we have an emotional moment, then our emotions are the boss of us. If we have some salesperson or television commercial tell us we need something, we gotta have it, insurance salesmen are good like that or whatever. If you buy something because someone else told you you need it, whether you really need it or not, who's the boss of you? It's someone else. If you have a best friend or a mate or a significant other who tells you, I remember, oh my gosh, when we were in high school, I remember some of my fellow students who would say, oh, I can't cut my hair. My boyfriend won't let me. He doesn't want me to. Really? Who's the boss of you? Your boyfriend? Not that there's anything wrong with boyfriends, but I don't think it's right that they should so be the boss of you. Think about that. And what about your boss? Is your boss the boss of you? They sign the paycheck, so I would suggest they are. They are a legitimate boss of you. However, if your boss is having you do anything that's out of integrity, not dealing honestly with customers or contractors or anything like that, then maybe it is more like your love of your paycheck or fear of not being able to get a good job that would then be the boss of you. So your fears can be the boss of you. Guilt can be the boss of you. Now, it's one thing, I always call guilt a gift. It's a gift because it helps us to make right choices. With that part of us inside that really does know the difference between wise things and unwise things to do, right and wrong. And so if we are not in tune with that sense of right or wrong, and we make a decision that's contrary to that, then that lower nature is the boss of us. So the guilt is like a little warning because you don't want to do that. After you do it, it's kind of too late, but it's not really late because a lot of things can be undone. So ask yourself when you are, in a quandary about making a decision or taking an action, who's the boss about me? Is it my thoughts? Is it my emotions? Or am I intuitively being called to do something? Then who's the boss of you? Spirit. Your inner truth, who you really, really are. Sometimes fashion dictates to us. By the way, that's never been my problem. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. I kind of wear whatever I feel like wearing, which sometimes, I used to remember I'd wear stripes and plaids together. I try to be at least a little bit more grown up about it now. Sometimes money's the boss of us. Sometimes it's what people tell us is manly or womanly. They're appealing to our ego. They're appealing to even our own self-doubt or lack of confidence. So that's about it for today. When you are having that why did I do that feeling, or when you're about to do something that you're not really sure about, ask who's the boss of me? Who's making this decision? What part of me is making this decision? Is someone else making the decision because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings? No, you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But if their feelings are becoming the boss of you, and it's not a necessary and wise thing to do, don't let anybody be the boss of you but you. And God, like I say, I always tell people, I answer to a higher authority. Stop whatever you're doing. Look at the cause you're sending forth and the effects that will come. And listen to Spirit for the guidance in what to do. That's it for today. My groceries are on the porch. I better go get that frozen stuff in the freezer because it's warm out there. God bless you. Have a great day, and know I behold the divinity in you. And I'll see you tomorrow. If you tuned in late and didn't get it, just wait a couple minutes and it's going to come up fresh. God bless you.